very special webinar because a few things are happening. Uh, this will probably be one of the second to last webinars we'll be doing in this fashion with the 5-minute learning in 1 hour intraday pathway solution here. We're going to kind of break into another couple of styles of getting you a little bit more information about what's being released in the network, but also why it's so special is that I have a co-presenter on the line with me. I have Michael Ficca with me, who has been a constant thorn in my side. No, I kid. He has been such a wonderful process. Michael, welcome to Dex and the world of webinars. I want to thank you for being here today.
Thanks, Max. Great to be here.
Great. Michael, I know that we've gotten a chance to talk to each other and really get to know each other. Michael has been that person who kind of came in, he had no experience whatsoever in really getting himself into what the winning mindset, the trader's mind process. Now, I know that you came in, you were actually doing binaries for a while, right?
Yeah, so binaries, 1-minute binaries with the robot. I got sucked into that, give us 5,000, you'll make 100,000 kind of thing. And right. I won the first 6 trades. They say keep it on all night. Went to bed. I woke up and my 5,000 hours was gone.
Oh my God.
So yes, so that was my very first. I was completely duped. Completely duped. There was nothing they could do, and I felt like an idiot, basically.
Right. Wow. Well, yeah, I got it. I wouldn't feel so bad if if I didn't know the game so well in there for what they do, and it's so tough, right? Because everything sounds so great by all of those companies that are out there. They make it sound so good, and they play on that OG, right? That overly that over greed that we all get, right? You got it, I got it. We got to be real about that, right? It's tough because you figure I'm going to let a bot trade for me, and you're like, well, it's better than me going and trying to learn what the market is because everybody makes the market confusing, don't they?
Yes.
So you get into 1-minute binaries on the bot, and then what? I thought I saw something in your bio you wrote to me about you started doing Nadex trades yourself and just kind of figured that stuff out, right?
Right. I did basically my second $5,000 foray across the pond. It was almost like a what do you call that system? 1, 2, 4, 8. There's a specific name for the system, Martingale system.
Martingale
and
system, yeah.
I tried that, and again got buried for another 5,000. So 10,000 across the way. I decided to, I'm a YouTube guy, so I decided to learn as much as I could about binary options from different sources and everything. And there was some free stuff out there. Nothing major. I'm a visual guy. If you make me read something, I'm never going to get it. You know me, Max. So that's why I love your videos. So I tried Nadex. I lost $1,000 right away. Then and then I'm the same. My mentality wasn't there. If I lost 100, I did 200. If I lost 200, I did 500. And then I'm like, okay, there's got to be a better way. So I started researching different people, and I came across you and another source, which I haven't found on the internet since I started with your company. That was in August. And since then, I've gone through the Trader's Mind series, and I'm not lying to you when I tell you this, 7 times.
Wow.
And each time I've gone through it, I've picked up another piece and another piece and another piece, and I'm almost there. I mean, I made a mistake last night, as you know, with the trading during news, which I shouldn't have done. And I knew it after I did it, because I knew we weren't going to trade today, and I know we weren't going to trade tomorrow. So I wanted to sneak one more in before I went to bed, and bang, got nailed. That's a lesson that I will not do again.
You paid for it.
I did.
Listen,
because we're live now.
Yeah, Michael went. You got here in August, but you're really still kind of. Listen, when you first get here, folks. Now today's webinar is a little bit different, right? This is not about the big sell for you. It's not about all of you that are in this room right now. Okay, so most of you are new people to the process. So most of you are, or some of you are, you know, investors and people that have, and I call you investors, and I hate calling you customers and stuff like that, but you're really not customers to me. Okay. Michael's not a customer. Michael made partner, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that. Michael made partner because of his constant dedication and professionalism to be here and his persistence, right, Heidi? His persistence. That's a big thing. Okay. But not persistence in you know continually trying to find something new to throw on top of everything, but really boiling back all the bullshit, right? You had to get rid of all that other crap that you had in your head. Okay, because when you first got
Yes.
here, Michael, you were you were
Undisciplined.
destined to try to make sense of something that wasn't even there at the point.
Hmm.
Because you were trying to add on other things and trying to find solutions to things that weren't even there. You didn't even want to follow the system to a degree.
Yeah, I was
And
your Bollinger Band guy.
yeah, well, I think what happened is that every once in a while you got to have a real conversation, not just with yourself, but with with what you're trying to do. And I seen this. I heard something in Michael's voice when I did a consult with him, and I said to him, listen, first thing you got to do is get rid of all that bullshit. We got to start talking about what do you really want from this. This is going to take discipline. You're going to have to do Trader's Mind series. And when he did Trader's Mind series, I could hear and see a completely different Michael in it. And that was tough for him because he's very responsive individual, right? You may not know this about Michael, and I don't think he's going to mind me telling you. Michael's a DJ. He was a casino dealer for a while. He's done real estate. He's done a whole bunch of things, but he's really focused on trying to find that solution for himself to work from home. He's a very dedicated and passionate young man who I find a pleasure to be able to talk to because he's a lot like me, right? Just different mentalities. Right? He's born in, or you're raised in New Jersey, right?
Yes.
I was raised in Philadelphia, so we're just right across the bridges, but it's still in that same mentality. We kind of grew up in the same kind of era as well. Now, the thing about Michael is that when he got here in August, he really didn't snap into it until the like middle of September. And I know that, and I remember that it was right around it was right around the beginning of November when I told you to go, just start going and trading because we were bringing out Dex indicators, and I was like, go into Dex indicators, get the 5 minute stuff, get the process going, and start doing trades. And what happened? What happened?
I did pretty much 12 hours a day for 3 straight days. I did my first 100 and was into my five contract trade.
Right,
I probably finished that my second 100 within maybe a week
right.
altogether.
Now I'm going to show you on the screen right now. The system's on the screen right now. Now Michael started to share because I told him to share your journal with me because we've done this. We at the time had done it with a couple of people. I told him to share a screen. I got to find out. Remember which one it is. The beginning. I got to like set it. Here it is. So
Yeah,
this is Michael's first set. This is the very beginning, and it started on October 17th. So it wasn't November. It was October. I apologize. On October 17th, he started the process of doing where he started calculating and doing his journal with us. And this is amazing. Some of you have seen it, some of you haven't. You get down here and don't even look at the number. The number doesn't even matter. 98.2 doesn't matter. It matters that, look, he did it in 2 days, the 17th, 18th, and 19th, so 3 days, and did 12 hours a day to get there. Now, he only did one contract apiece due to the rules. He followed the rules. You understand? He followed the rules. Do you break the rules, Michael, every once in a while?
yeah, but I'm learning not to. And but since I've been doing it for such a long time, there's some times where you feel uh, a market direction or you feel the way the market's moving. So instead of taking 1.00, I might choke up and take 1.02 and win easily because the system's that good. You don't. I mean, I've gotten beaten the last couple of days with these arrows that go on the wrong way, like
Right.
skyrockets.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Right. And
You're
I
never going
think
to be
what
100% all the time, and there's a lot of
well, you can't
perfectionists out there, including myself.
you can't be. I mean, when I first started
Right.
out, he was doing 98%. And then you start to really get into this thing, into this groove. I think he got into his next batch. I got to find out where those are at. And again, I got okay, here they are. But he gets into his next batch and he's cleaning house. This is like the story of Michael right at the moment, okay? And I'm going to get other stories out there. Don't you worry, Ken. and Aaron and Chi and all these
Oh,
other people who are going to get
I
these
can't
stories.
wait.
These look at this. These are five contract trades, 9,500. Took it from the 19th to the 24th. Now, if you notice, he didn't do it in 3 days straight on the second batch. He spanned them out, began to get a little bit more in between. Because he's getting better at picking the right ones, not just going after everything that rang a bell for him. Okay, and then he got into his third hundred, and then his fourth hundred. Now, how many 5 minute trades have you done up to this point now?
I think 400, no, 500, yeah, 500 5-minute trades, or maybe it's 600. It might be
I thought
600.
because
No,
you
it's
got
500.
600, 500. Okay, well, either way,
It's on there.
500.
It was 576 and 27. I was overall.
Right. The process that he committed himself to is that he was going to go through and do all of it. Because what happens when you do them like this is that you get a lot of muscle memory to the process too, right?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
I could tell you guys a quick story. My son and I, um, we have this challenge that we challenge each other with to the Rubik's Cube, right? And I don't know if you remember the Rubik's Cube from the 80s, but I'm 47 years old and I could never do the Rubik's Cube up until last year. And when I first solved it, my son saw me solve it, and he's like, "I want to do that." So I was teaching him some stuff, teaching him the algorithms and everything. And when I finally showed him the algorithm, his little hands were like moving like 500,000 miles an hour, and I was like, "Man, that's the price of youth, right?" But I was like, once he figured it out, he could really make it happen. Now, I could do it in a minute and a half. He can do it in something like 30 seconds, right? And in doing it in that time, I was like, "Listen, I need you to slow that down for me." And he couldn't. He had committed it all so much to memory that his hands were basically doing it on their own. And it became so responsive that when he would slow it down, he started to think too much, right? And Michael, this is what was happening to you in your 5 minute trades. You
Hmm.
began to get into such a rhythm with them, and
And you
you were
made me
you
do
weren't
1 hour trades.
right. When I came to, and so I had to come to him and I had to tell him, listen, I want you to take away from the 5 minutes just for a minute, and I want you to go to 1 hours. Because I'm going to take you from all that muscle memory and I want to get you into some productive doing. And the 1 hour strategy has a very powerful system. And when you did, what happened?
It was incredible. I think it was
Yeah,
like 29 or 30 before I had a loss, and
yeah.
you can see everything. I mean, the system was amazing.
You,
It really
you,
was.
you were
Slowed
going
down the
so fast.
process.
You were going so fast in your 5 minute trades that you were inside the moment with the trade. So everything was moving fast for you. So your mistakes were coming just as fast as your successes were.
Right.
Okay. I needed you to slow it all down so you could say, well, wait a minute. Now I can see where my mistake, because your mistakes were coming so fast at you that you were forgetting where you were at sometimes and you were making those mistakes.
Hmm.
All right. Because you were still in 5 minutes trading in some pretty bad news times, even though you were being rewarded.
I'll
Now the
admit
cool thing is
this. I'll admit this, that I did not want to do this. Max asked me to do it, and I went kicking and screaming. And for the first 20, even though I was like 29-0, and I'm like, I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting
right,
because I love the 5 minutes.
right,
And then something happened. I'm like, wow, this is, when I can apply CVG to this, it's going to be incredible.
right.
And now I can't really go back to the 5 minutes because it's almost like candy to me. You know what I mean? We went back with Eloy and Evan the other night, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I'm like, if I do it now, I'm going to want to do it again, and I couldn't get
It's
into it.
addictive. It's addictive.
Yeah.
So listen, this is a month after you started. This is 11/17 and started doing the trading practice. And after a month, you're already into 20. This is 1 month or not even a month. You're doing 1 hours for only a couple of days this month. But this is after 1 month you started the new platform of doing the DEX indicator process, and you're doing 29 and 0 at that point. And then you lose your first one. No big deal. You get down. This is his first practice. This is his first run at 100-hour trades. You
Mm.
understand, folks? These are 1 hour trades, and from the 11/17 to this current time now. Now I want you to look at this. Okay, here it is in all of its glory. Now, this is the mistake he was talking about last night. Okay, got into some trades at 2 o'clock in the morning when he shouldn't have because he said, oops.
I'm
Okay,
not going to be
and
trading
this is
for
what
2 more days. That's my fault.
right. and he kind of pushed that system in there. But that's okay because you learn from these mistakes because this is the direct news time. So even though he won this one, he still was rewarded for that because he traded in a news area. He didn't pay attention to the process. But again, he normally doesn't trade at 2 o'clock in the morning, do you?
No.
So so he's already gotten that kind of reverence that the solution is only as good as you allow it to become. And you have to put your rules in and you have to follow those rules. But that's okay, because the the first 100 trades you did, because remember, this is all live, folks. This is live, right? So in live time now the live time that happens, okay, like this is live. These are all numbers that are live, okay, all right, and it starts from the 14th with one contract apiece, all right, so that's pretty important, you know. Paul Davies,
Here's,
who's on board,
I was gonna say, click on
is
that because this is impressive.
right. Okay, only one loss is 52 and 4, but that's a really good process here. Here, watch this. Let me sum this up for you as well. Now we're doing this tonight as $1,019, however long that is that it took him to get to that point up there. So 12/5 to the 14th. So not extreme. That's extremely great. Okay, we got Erin here. She has her live dailies, like I was saying, $249.
It's
Right.
great.
Why we're showing these results is because you have to know that people like Michael, who just started out 2 months ago, 3 months, not even 3 months ago. Is it 3 months? No, yeah, 3 months ago. Okay. Right. At a point where he spent, I think his first one was like $87, and then he was paying 147, and he paid another 147. So he paid a total of about $381 to be here at this point. And how much money does he make? Yeah. Okay. So how much money can he make as he goes in through the process? What kind of numbers can we look at? Now, if we go back to the live section of any of them, you just got to add your CVG, right? Because Michael, you're doing probably about, let me pull up your 1 hour trades. It's $3,805, okay, over a period of 17th, was it? Sorry,
It was less because the holidays were in there
Yeah.
too, so there was a lot of days we didn't trade.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Like
days you didn't trade. So from the 15th
the
to
14th or
the
15th, yeah.
yeah 15th to the 14th. So this is 1 month. So let's just say 20 days of trading, okay, and trading an average of one contract a piece. You understand? That's a month worth of trading with one contract a piece at 38.05. How does he make 7,200? Add the second contract in there. So Michael started out as this type of person that we got to this availability to learn the system, go through the process, do the training, make the consults, be present in the chat room, talk to people, and be a part of it. All right. So basically, that's the introduction of Michael Ficca to the system. How did he make partners so quick? Well, his honesty, his integrity, his command of being able to accept his mistakes and learn from them and move on. And that's the biggest struggle with a lot of you, isn't it? If you're watching this, if you're hearing this, if you're on the phone, if you're on a tablet or you're on your computer, you're trying to really figure this stuff out. Okay. No matter what your learning curve is, what you have in front of you is that if you're going to, I want to become partner, absolutely. We just got to get you there. We just got to get you to the process. Now, Michael has learned from the 5 minute series and got into the 1 hour intradays because he's done the work. This doesn't happen. We were talking prior to one individual that had been trading live already before doing the work behind it, and they suffered. Doesn't look like they're here right now, but maybe they left. But either way, that pain that you feel from not following the rule, you can't expect anybody else to learn your lessons for you. Okay, so you got to follow the rules to the process for it to work for you. And what is it? Let me explain a little bit of who we are. Some of you Is there anybody here that's new, that hasn't bought into the system yet? Type in the word new inside the chat room. If you're brand new, you've never bought into the system before, you don't know, you just got here, maybe you're just trying to figure stuff out. Marty M is new, welcome, thank you very much. Eduardo's new, thank you very much. Richie, welcome, everybody welcome to that process. Everybody else that's here, that's been here and heard me speak a few times and knows that my sincerity and my will for this to work is real, okay? You have to understand too that you're not going to get there. You got to have some tough conversations with yourself. And that tough conversation has to be, am I willing to follow the pathway? If you can follow the pathway, no matter what learning curve you're at, we'll help you figure out that destination, get you to that goal. But we can't get you there unless you're willing to do it. Is that right? I told you that a while ago, Michael, right?
Yes. You have to
Okay, so
you have to be committed for this. Seriously.
yes,
If you want to be successful, you got to be committed.
yes.
And if you need help, we're here for you. It's the
And
best way I can. I mean, I needed it more than anybody, and Max spent the time with me, and I can't thank him enough for changing my life like the way he has. I really
well,
can't.
you can thank me enough by helping other people that like I helped you. And you're doing a great job with all those people. You, Brian Morris, you got Ken, you got a whole bunch of people in that room that I see all the time that are just putting their constant time and effort into this company, and it's going to come to you. What a wonderful opportunity to meet more and more and more people. What a beautiful, tribute to all these people that are here trying to learn something more. Like, okay, so there's a risk disclaimer. Pause the video if you're watching this after the fact. If you're here now, the biggest thing you got to pay attention to is that everything's educational trade assistance only, and all results may vary. And so everything we told you prior to, and everything we're going to tell you now, you got to keep in mind. You can lose your ass if you're not careful, if you don't follow the rules. Okay, but you could be very successful, even more successful than myself or even Michael, if you really put your time and effort in. The pathways we spoke about earlier, Michael, as you know too, that learning is one thing, training and doing is another, isn't it?
That's correct. Yes.
How important was doing the trades to you?
Um, it's probably 90% of everything. It's 90% technical, 10% mental, as far as I'm concerned. You know, you keep doing the training and keep doing the actual trading, it's going to become second nature.
Now, some people ask you, is training in demo, is that really that important? What would you tell somebody who would ask you that question?
First of all, you're not trading any of your own money, and it's completely different, a completely different mindset when you go live.
Right.
But demo is the way to go because you're not losing any money. There's no pressure. And if you do make a mistake, oh, well, there's another trade coming around the corner, especially with 5 minutes. You got 4.5 minutes left to do another one, you know? But it's very important for the, to trade and trade and trade, and do not go live until you are 100% ready. And
Right.
Max and I can probably tell you when that will be.
Yeah. Is it a money thing when you decide that you want to go live? Is it really about, I mean, because there is a difference with live money and demo money. Not the systems aren't different because they both have the same indicative price. Market price might be a little bit different with Nadex, but the mentality, does it culture shock you? Is there a veil? Can we literally say that? Is there a veil when you go live?
Oh, sure. It's your money now, and you might, the trades you were going to take when you were in demo, you might think twice of taking now. What you should have been doing in demo, waiting for that perfect trade. Now you're like, no, I'm gonna wait. If the working order can't get filled, oh well, I'll wait another hour. You know what I mean? It's a big difference.
Well, the idea of doing the 5-minute trades and doing the 5-minute signal system, getting you to the 1 hour. Now you went through all that, you got through all that process. There's 20 or 30, maybe even 40 other people that have done the same thing you have, having the same type of success. We have over 1,000 members in this network. The 5-minute training part of this solution is all about getting you to the 1 hour trades, right?
Yes.
So
and again, like I told you, I didn't want to do them, but now I'm so glad I did. And they're the only ones I want to trade now. Don't make me do anything else, Max.
Yeah, you're not going to go. You can trade me with. I even told. I threatened
Oh,
him
maybe
last
do
night.
flag and pennant.
I said I'm going to make you. I'm going to go make you do working orders on dailies. They're a two
And
and
you
a
know
half
what?
hour trade.
That's set it
They're
and
fun.
forget that. I don't mind that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you don't even have to go back to that one.
Hmm.
But the beauty is at matex.com. If you don't know, listen, if you guys don't know all the stuff we're talking about, it's okay because the system's going to teach you. Okay, we're here through you the whole process. I want you to hear from everybody that's going through this process. But Michael's going to be taking over a very big part of the webinar package as well, and doing some of the consults and helping with some of the videos and doing some of these live training stuff that we're going to be putting out there, so you can see it being done, so you know that it's real, that it's live money now we're talking about. Okay, and what did it take you to get there? It was like what, 3 months? Which 3 months out of your life to try to get something that's perfect for you? That's what you have to ask yourself. If you're here right now, especially Marty and Richie, Eduardo, Debbie, if you're here to make something for yourself, you don't have to be it yourself. You're here with a lot of other people that are really making it now. This isn't about just some cheaty system out there, some robot. But you also got to know it takes work. And Michael is like a monster when it comes to the work. You may not be able to put that time in that he put in the beginning, but if you can, the results are there. They speak for themselves. We have people like Ken, and and I'm trying to scroll down and see who else is here. I know Dan worked very hard in this network. There's a lot of other people in the network itself that aren't here tonight because they're in doing trades right now. They're learning the process. So you got to learn. Now we devise a system with 5 minutes so you can learn as fast as possible. Okay. Then you add CVG. This is going to be put on a T-shirt. You know that, right? We're going to get a T-shirt company and make this happen. Consistency plus volume. Now this is pretty important, Michael. Right? That everybody should get this because this you can use this in every walk of part of your life.
Yes,
Right?
that's
Once
correct.
you get consistency down, the volume that comes is not the amount of trades you do, but the amount of contracts you put on. So if you're only doing 4 trades a day, which isn't very much, right? How much money do you need every day to make? Really is constituted by this consistency level in this equation here. So the average is about $20 to $22. We're just going to say $20 per contract. So if you do that, you're going to make about $80 a day, right? What would $80 a day do to each one of you that just said you're new? If you were just able to do that, what would $80 do for you? It would change your life, right? Because that's extra money. And how long does it take you to do 4 trades? 10 minutes, Michael? 20 minutes?
Not even. I
If you're
mean,
doing
the
the
actual
hours?
time. Yeah, the actual
Yeah.
time. You're at the top of the hour, and you're waiting till quarter after the hour, and you're done for
Yeah.
45 minutes.
You could walk away. The success
Yep.
rate is so good at those that you just walk away. You don't even got to bother. I mean, yeah, some people are going to want to watch them, right? But you're going to learn that you're going to not want to watch them after a while. I don't watch them. I can't. I get there at 8 o'clock. I look between 8:15. I wait for my trades. I get there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon whenever I'm trading because I don't have a lot of time to trade. I'm one of those busy people, button pushers. I'm waiting for Dex Trader to come out so I can use it. Right? I'm lazy. Well, not lazy. I don't have the
Matt,
time to do it.
I know you're busy, but what he just said here, 4 contracts or 4 trades at $20, that's $1,600 a month. If
Yeah,
you do 2 contracts, it's 32. If you do 4 contracts, it's 6,400. How much do you guys make?
right.
Four hours. If you can do it 1 hour, 2 hours a night, it's incredible. How much
Right.
this could change your life. It really is.
The the
I'm excited
CVG.
about it, but I'm just sorry.
That's all right. The CVG process is what really it takes all that extra pressure off because you get to start to use this mentality. He's right. If you do $80 and you're doing that a day, and you're trading 20 times or 20 days a month. That's 1,600 bucks. So how do you get to because you're only trading one contract, doing 2 contracts is 3,200. You get where this is going? So if you've got the time, you get yourself into it because you can dial back your time to be as proficient as possible. You just got to look for the news. You got to avoid some stuff, right? The rules are real simple. Every system has rules. Now, the more things you add on to a chart, the more things you add on to a process, the more rules you have. But in our case, we only add a few things to a chart, right? What does our chart looks like when you're training in the 5 minute? It looks like this. This is crazy, right? You don't, if you're trading the signals process, oh, okay, well, it doesn't look like this one because I put a stow on here for some reason. Oh, this is from last night. I put a stochastic on it. So this is what the system looks like. You just wait for the box to pop up. It'll propagate information in there on what strike take to take. I did put that on there, right? Yeah.
I wish I had that a couple months ago.
Yeah. So this is what you do. This is all you do. And you wait for you don't even have to follow the arrow. The thing will alert you and it'll tell you which way to go and everything else. It's that easy now. We've made it that easy because of all the people that are here. There it is. Look at that. A thing just popped up, right? We're up here, right? You guys see it, right? It tells you which to do, what direction to go, all that kind of stuff right there. It's that easy, right? So it pops up, you jump over to Nadex. We're not going to trade right now because it's middle news. News is about to release here pretty soon. So we're not even going to mess with it right now. But the point is, it's that simple. So you follow the rules. No news trading, just like we did right there. No news trading. We're not going to bother. See you. Good night. Right? You follow the signal in the box, the alert sounds, you're done. Now, what we've been talking about, 200, 300, 400 trades, the process works like this. Trade and demo only for your first 100 trades to get you your gross success ratio. And this is going to tell you that when you do your first 100 trades in this, if you're below 80%, you got a problem, don't you, Michael? There's an issue.
Yes. And it could be just a minor issue.
Listen, it's always something minor. It's every single time I've seen this, it's always something minor. Oh, you're kidding me. I got the wrong, I'm going in the wrong direction, or I'm seeing the view. I'm trying to get into the next 5 minutes instead of this one, or if the signal comes at like 7:34, I'm trying to get in, I can't get into this, right? Or no, I'm trading the news and I didn't change it over to EST. It could be anything. But if you're below 80%, okay, then you got a tiny problem. So we just got to help you figure that out. That's why sharing your journal with us is very important. We teach you how to do. You've been watching all these journals, right? These people didn't know how to do this prior to. They came, maybe Ken did. Maybe Ken had a really good film on it, and Aaron definitely had a good film on it. But most of the people didn't, right? We had to show them how the system worked, and they figured it out. Look at this; these are beautiful. It takes you a little time to put them in there, but is it worth it, Michael? Is it worth it keeping a journal?
Absolutely.
We have not figured out some of your algorithm issues, some of your decisions. Right. This is how
Max had caught me on the bottom on the buys, and I think I was talking to Chi about this. Right. Instead of going from the tip of the arrow, I would go up a little bit, and he caught that. I don't know how he did it, but he caught what I was doing, and that's when I was winning. And when I started losing, I realized that that's what I was doing. Right. So you go right to the tip of the arrow.
You're being rewarded for your mistakes, even though that you're doing it and you're winning. Sometimes you'll still be rewarding for your mistakes. So you got to stay away from those. And he did, and he learned. So in this first part of it, if you're doing anywhere between 80 to 90%, you're doing great. Keep going down this line, and then go to your next level of 200 trades. Get to your 200th trade from that point. If you're doing 90 to 98%, myself and only one other person ever's gotten higher than 98%. And you're listening to him on the phone right now. Okay. There's other people that can do really close to it, 95, 96, 97%. Okay. And I think, Chi, I don't know if I think you got the 98%, didn't you? Somewhere in there. Let me see. I hate to prove that.
I'm so proud of Chi.
I know, right? 96%. Okay, 96.8. So listen, you got close. It's okay, buddy. It's all right. you're kicking butt. Yeah. But there's a lot of people that if you get in between this position, right, you're a superstar. You might as well you're going to get to your next 100 trades. Okay, you're going to do the same thing again. But at this point, you want to start looking at intraday trades and start testing yourself out on those as well. Okay, and that's real important. What happens after you do this 100, which we just talked about? If you get to between 80 and 90, you'll get to that level. But listen, don't feel bad on yourself if you're like 80 and 90%. Not everybody's cut for 5 minutes. You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to learn in this system. There's some of you that can do in between them. Some of you have that mentality to be able to do so. And Michael doesn't take it personally that he knows where his limitations are with 5 minutes. I know where my, do you think the guy who created it would be able to do it? And I can do them, but I can't do them for long periods of time because my attention has to be in other places. And with 5 minutes, man, you got to be honed in, right? And some of you got that. And that's okay. That's why we have so many systems. We have Dex Trader, Dex Signals, Dex Trader, and Dex Indicators coming. So some of you can really make that happen, but some of you can't. And that's okay because intradays will work for you. I promise you. All right. Now, after round one, you get the testing, you find out, then you get into round two, you do another 100 trades, but with 5 contracts, so you can start beefing this up so you know what it feels like to have the money in there, right? Get your account back up too on your demo account. But this is going to give you your net success. If you're below 80%, again, guess what? There's something really wrong here. And if you didn't follow the advice from the first time and something's happening here, then we really got to talk about, all right, I'm sorry, but maybe the life of trading is not for you. Maybe it's something that's happening in there, right? So what we'll do is that we'll advance you to try to get to 1 hour trades and see if that fixes it, right? Some people just can't stand the pressure at all for 5 minute trades, and that's fine. Now, if you're between 80 and 90%, congratulations, you've completed your testing round, and let's get you over into 1 hour trades. Boom, done. 1 hour trades, here we come. And you're going to test this out for about 50 trades in this point, right? We might even make this a little higher, but 50 trades. And that's really going to start to hone your success on the 1 hour trades, all right? Before you go live, right? Because remember, you're still not live yet. Don't be silly. Don't pay Nadex for this stuff. Ain't that right, Michael?
Yes.
Michael's already paid Nadex $5,000 or $6,000.
Yes, he has.
So
Yes.
you don't have to worry about it. He's covered all your learning expenses, folks. Okay.
He's going to get it back now.
I put in 10 grand myself. Now, since then, I've taken out a lot of money, so I don't know if they love me anymore. But listen, you will get there, but you got to spend the time doing what we just said, right? Is it worth it to you? Absolutely. Because after 200 trades, listen, if you're doing 90 to 98% success in 5 minute trades, you are really a superstar after your 200 trades. You really got to focus on doing 5 minute trades and 1 hours if you can. All right. But watch what happens to your mentality when you go from 1 hours to 5 minutes. You're like, whoa, I can really see, because it basically slows time down for you. Like, wait a minute, this really does move the same exact way in 5 minute trades as it does in 1 hour trades. When my chart's on the 15-minute chart, holy crap, I can really see it, right? So pretty damn powerful, especially for those that really put the time in to make it. Some go to 3, some go to 400 trades. Okay, you really don't feel comfortable. You want to make sure, like, I got this ingrained. You wake up and your hands can automatically start trading, kind of stuff, right? Now, some of you heard what I was talking about earlier about we have 3 different systems: Dex Trader, Dex Signals, and Dex Indicators. Dex Indicators where you're at right now. These are the type of people, if you are here right now and you're for Dex Indicators and you want to figure this stuff out, you want to get into the trade, you want to learn 5 minutes, you want to really hone in on this process, then you'll stay here and you'll buy into this process. It'll be like, it's $147 a month, but it's $50 off tonight. We're going to give you a code here in just a minute. If that's who you are, great. All right, because you're in the right spot, you've made it. If you're somebody who wants to learn how to do the trades, okay, 1 hour intraday trades and daily trades, and you don't really want to have to use a lot of charting, maybe learn a little bit. We'll teach you a lot of stuff in here. There's a lot of stuff, isn't there, Michael, in Dex Signals?
Yes, very much so.
So there's a lot of stuff in there. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't like charting, you don't like any of that stuff, you just give me everything on the web. You're going to want to go over to Dex Trader, not today though, but very soon. And we got some deals, right? If you are a full member of the Dex Indicator series, you can get everything for an extra $50. Yeah, I know. And if you act now, we'll throw it in double. No, only kidding. Really, it'd be like 197 total or something ridiculous. You have to ask Amy. She's not in here tonight, but you can get a hold of her later in the chat room, and she'll get you set up if you want to get this inclusive. Because if you end up having both of these, or I think some rendition of it, I think it's like 197 to get this and this at that 197 price. Why is that so important? Because when this comes out, because this is an alpha right now, when it comes out in beta and in production, it's going to be 247. And then when it comes out after its 5th phase, which will be the middle of January, it'll be 297 more. It will rest for the dying days of myself, because I will never make it more than $300 at that point. But why pay an extra $100 or $200? Also, you're investing into the company, who we are. How do you think we built all this stuff? I didn't pay myself a whole bunch of money for me. We've been using all this money to build all these great things. If you don't think these things are great, then we're in the wrong spot. But I can tell you right now, with people like Michael and Ken and Chi and everybody who's new, thank you, Della, who's just, I hope I pronounce it.
Delia.
Or Della? Delia. Okay. Sorry. I'm very bad with names, some names. And a lot of people who are just starting out. If you just bought in, you got awesome training, you got awesome customer service here. I'm biased, but we had to focus everything we are on customer service. Everything we are is about customer service. The products will work themselves. You will learn how to do it, but if you're comfortable with the people you're working with, myself or Michael or Amy or Brian or anybody else, Dan, Ken, everybody who's here, okay, you won't want to be here, no matter how good the system is, right? So I hope you all can see how powerful this is. DEX indicators, like we spoke about, is for all those people that want to do the charting. DEX signals for people who just want the signals and maybe do a little bit of charting and have the chat room and have all the extra stuff in there. And then DEX Trader will really be for those future button pushers. Hence, that will be me. I will be using DEX Trader like nobody's business because I
He's not
really don't
lying.
have a lot of time. You know, I really just want to come in and push a button and make my trade because it really does mean a lot to me for that to get to the system. But again, that's going to be out. Hopefully, we're going to get most of it out for Christmas. Okay. Each come with the Nadex strategy information. You're going to learn how to use Nadex. You're going to learn how to use MetaTrader, except for DexTrader. You just learn how to push a button, right? And we really do believe that everything we've designed is helping as many people as we possibly can to get to their idea of success. And I need you to know that their idea of success is the most important phrase in there. Okay, because I'm not here to get you to my idea of success because it's different. I'm already a success. Okay, Michael's a success because we've made into a system that we have positive income coming from and we work very hard at every day. Okay, so as a gift for taking the time out of your busy day and being here, and all of you watching after the fact, use Dex Save 50 and save yourself $50 for the month. Okay, save $50 off, put it in the coupon box, and when you buy in, you're going to hit the ground running. Trust me. If you're here, due diligence is your best friend, is it not, Michael?
It is. And if I can say something, for all you
Sure.
new members, and I'm pretty sure Max is still doing this, all the training on the on Deck Signals is free. Am I correct on that, Max?
On Dex Signals, it's free, right? All that training
Yes.
in there is free. You can go in there and learn most of the stuff
That's,
about signals. Yeah.
my God, thousands and thousands of dollars in you pay 10,000, 15,000 to go to college. It's nothing. Learn, you can see everything that Max is from those videos. He puts his heart and soul in that, and that's what made me join. And I'm proud to call him a friend. And if it wasn't for him, I'd be, who knows where I'd be, as
You'd
far
still
as
be a DJ. You probably
Max,
would be trading if you broke DJs.
Look at what Delia wrote. She lost $100,000, or she paid $100,000 for all that. Sounds like a couple other guys we know, right?
Yeah, that's well. I got ripped off.
Unbelievable.
Well, that's what this. Listen, we say this all the time. If you're watching this after the fact, you should hear this for yourself. This industry sucks.
Yes.
Right? This industry will rip you off and not even care. Those people overseas, those binary people, the binary option networks, the robot people, all of it, we are a group of traders that built this for other traders. That's it. That's it in a nutshell. If you can't recover your money, I've had a very personal friend of mine who's been with us for a very long time, battling this depression of losing money to those people. And I was there too. I spent a year fighting, trying to find out how do I get even with these guys. So I got it for you, folks. The best revenge is living well. It's going on another t-shirt. Right? So Delia, I'm sorry you went through that. I'm very sorry you went through that. But what you're going to be doing now is getting in there and learning that process. If you have the wherewithal to make that happen, make it happen now. And if you've already you're in that process, you just got, listen, the power's in numbers. And every single day we're growing exponentially out the window. We're overflowing. We have to build these bigger systems to sort of separate where everybody needs to be. Okay, but we're taking this network over. We're going to be one of the only companies in this industry that you can feel safe to going to and knowing that you're not going to get, a bunch of bullshit. And I don't have a problem combating any one of those companies overseas. Most of you already know that I'm in line talking to Nadex and have been for a long time. I know Dan Cook personally, very nice guy, who's a CMO over at nadex.com. We've been battling back and forth. We're doing webinars for Nadex. We have another one coming up here, January 7th and January 20th. We wanted to wait until the new year to start our new series over there because they know that we're ethical as well and that we really do want to help as many people as possible. Okay. And it does save them a lot of trouble of having to worry about training people and how to use your system. Okay. Because you need to boil back all this crap that's out there. All right. So I won't take too much more of everybody's time. Everybody that's watching this after the fact, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Just taking that time is extremely important to us because it does go to your success. And I want you to trade well. Michael, thanks a lot for hanging out. Everybody else in the chat room, please hang out. We got questions and answers happening right after this. It's a special thing we do for everybody that's here. You can ask as many questions you want, and we're here for you all night. Mike, thanks a lot for doing this one with me, man. I can't wait to see you doing these yourself.
My pleasure, Max. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Everybody, hang out. Everybody else, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you all soon. I'm Max Farrow. This is DexIndicators.net with Michael Ficca. Until, take care.